Hey guys, I'm just making a quick video to show you what I'm currently working on. In front of you is actually a figure that I've been making some conversions out of. For those of you guys who recognize, these are actually the HAT 1806 Prussian Fusiliers. Now obviously I don't normally paint Prussians, and obviously for an 1806 period, they wouldn't normally be okay for a Waterloo diorama, which is obviously 10 years later. But I was in the hobby store a couple weeks ago, and I was almost ready to leave, and then I walked past this pack. And obviously I don't really paint Prussians, so I didn't really initially look at it, but when I pulled it out I realized that actually the uniform could very well pass for British infantry. They get the right kind of stovepipe shako, a shorter kind of rifle, the right kind of belting, and so on. So I've taken these figures, and what I've done is I've done a little bit of conversion, and I've turned them into this. These are the first kind of company to kind of test to see how the conversion would work before obviously I spent time painting the whole unit, or the whole pack. So what I've done is these guys have actually been painted up to be the 1st King's German Legion Light Battalion in reserve. These are in very nice dispose right here. A lot of the guys are at a nice laxed order arms. Obviously the normal figure has all the faces, the heads looking straight forward, but I've just taken the pliers and very carefully sort of bent them to looking a couple different directions to kind of make them look a little bit more humanly. And to convert them, what I've done is I've taken a very sharp X-Acto knife to cut off the ponytails at the back, because obviously that wouldn't have been kosher for 1815. And I've taken a little tiny knife. I've scraped off the eagle off the front of the shako just because that wasn't really, so I could have just a flat surface that I could then paint the silver light infantry buglehorn. And then I've taken a very short knife and just kind of cut out a very tiny little hole at the front. And then I've taken actually the tip of a toothpick and super glued that into the front. And then once primed and painted up, I think they look pretty close to being, the right kind of light infantry hackles. So I'm actually quite happy with how these turned out. A lot of the light infantry or rifle packs from Artillery and Revel have a lot of firing and reloading poses, which useful as those are. It is kind of nice to have a couple of figures that are quite clearly more in reserve. They're not immediately engaged in action, so that these guys can be the 1st King's German Legion Light Battalion, which was stationed just on the Ohain Road, just pretty much behind the elm tree, just basically at the crossroads, just in behind the 2nd King's German Legion, which was at La Haye-Sainte. So these guys just kind of in reserve. There's a sergeant there talking to one of the corporals, and they're just kind of waiting to be deployed by Wellington to whatever, either in square to go and help try and maybe reinforce La Haye-Sainte. So I think these actually painted up pretty well. I mean, they're not perfect, but from a distance they look pretty good. They are all the right details and belting and buckles and the different rows of buttons and whatnot. And they even got the chin straps, which I think is a really nice effect. So I'm actually, I'm quite happy with how these guys painted out. So if you have any questions, guys, just shoot me a comment, and thanks for watching.